Good morning, natural gas. It's Wednesday, May 27, 2026. I'm Tim Beggins, president of Elk Trading Company. And today is the expiration of the June natural gas contract. Currently, right now, we're trading at 296.60, up 7.2 cents, or almost 2.5%. And as you can see, the RSI is pointing upward. We've got our first resistance at 296.90, above that 304.40, and then well above that 309.90. Looks like it's going to be a quiet session to close out the June natural gas contract. Let's turn to July, which will become spot tomorrow. And currently, right now, we are up 6.4 cents here to 3.0740, up over 2%. The RSI is pointing higher. Our first resistance will be at 308.20, and then above that 315.40. So why aren't we moving much further? We have modest temperatures here in Texas and cool temperatures on the 8 to 14-day outlook across the U.S. South. Let's take a look, and that's the 8 to 14-day temperature outlook showing below normal temperatures in West Texas here, all the way through to the Carolinas, and above normal temperatures in the northern tier of the country. This looks like winter El Nino conditions. Suddenly, we've got it in June. Just really strange. So let's take a look at ERCOT. And here is the grid today. We are going to be just over 20, let's see, about 20, under 27,000 megawatts for renewables, wind and solar. Wind is quite low, out of 66,000 for the system-wide demand. Therefore, natural gas is picking up some market share today, almost 53% of the fuel mix right now. Let's turn to the Texas weather, and that's what's causing some of that demand. Again, we're only going to be about 66,000 megawatts in the grid today because look at this rain here from South Texas all the way across into East Texas, Dallas, Fort Worth, and Houston. We've got a lot of rain last night in the Houston area from 2 a.m. to 6 a.m., and it looks like we're getting rain for much of the week. Let's take a look at the weather here. As you can see, we get some warmer temperatures here, starting to poke around some of the 90s again. Desert Southwest, parts of Texas. We even see 90s pushing up all the way up into the Dakotas here at brief periods of time. So it's not sustained heat yet, but it looks like it will start to shake out possibly by the third week of June. And as you can see here, as we get forward into the forecast here, that desert Southwest really starts to do triple digits here in the central valleys of California, Arizona, parts of Texas. So let's take a look at the heat risk. And as you can see right now, strangely enough, we've got heat risk in the northern part of the country, Montana, North Dakota. And as you can see, it stays that way for the next few days. And then it starts to dissipate, as you can see here, into Monday and Tuesday. That heat now starts to push into the Central Valley of California, Arizona, parts of Nevada, and Utah. Let's take a look at the front to back spreads. This is the Jan versus October, pushing through that 125 support we had. And now we have our secondary levels here coming in between 1.063 to 1.84. 1.084, excuse me. So that is the long-term target, but it is right now approaching oversold condition on the RSI. So looks like we've got a big push down today. We are lower by almost over 6 cents here to 123.3 right now. And let's take a look at why some of that is happening. Well, Novi March. Novi March has really been just crushed here for the last 4 sessions. And as you can see, we're down over $1 from that quadruple high. As you can see, well above the market here at 4.757. Currently, right now, we are trading at 3.718, just up 1.3 cents at the moment, or 0.35%. And RSI is trying to turn back up. There is some profit taking here and some bargain hunting on these lower levels, but when we turn to the weekly chart for this particular strip, it still is not oversold and it has plenty of room to fall even further. Let's take a look at the weather in Europe. And we've got some warmer temperatures here for the next week. This continues, as you can see, all the way up into about June the 1st here. And then we start moderating a little bit as we get into that second week of June. And that pushes some warmer temperatures to the east as we get some cooler weather across France, Germany, and Poland. But this is summer coming up, and storage levels, well, they're not great. They're under 38% full across the EU. Looks like this is going to be somewhere between 2021 and 2025 for total storage by the time we get to November. Some of these countries are going to struggle to get to 80% full, especially France, Germany. As you can see, the Netherlands still having some trouble at 14%, and the United Kingdom only 20%. How about Asia? Well, it looks like it's going to be warm here. This is June 1st here. This continues to be warm as we go through the forecast period all the way out into the end here. About June the 11th starts to moderate just a little bit, but right here, it starts to warm up here in eastern provinces of China, Korea's, and Japan. Again, this is June the 1st here. This is going to be fairly warm for this time of year. And what about the LNG markets? Well, strangely enough, nothing is loading at Ras Laffan. It's very, very sparse in this area between Qatar and Dubai. And oddly, we've got two LNG tankers that were near Ras Laffan yesterday, and they're now over here. Gasolog Skagen is over here, as well as another tanker, and this is sitting off of Iran's North Field LNG facility. So, strangely enough, they may be loading there, but it also could mean that the tracker systems are being turned off or intentionally disrupted for these LNG tankers to make a run through the Strait of Hormuz. Let's turn to the U.S. LNG markets. This is Creole Trail. This feeds, of course, Sabine Pass. It's currently running 1.52 BCF out of 1.7. That's doing well. How about Corpus Christi? Yep, 2.61 out of 2.75, also doing well. Venture Global, Trans-Cameron Pipeline. This feeds Calcasieu Pass, and it's currently still below here, running about 1.756 out of 2.125. So it's got plenty of capacity. There's only one vessel loading in the docks here at Calcasieu Pass. So maybe some maintenance, maybe also related to the recent dredging. How about Gator Express? This feeds Plaquemines, and this thing is running over 4 BCF at a total capacity, nameplate capacity of 3.94. Again, running over nameplate capacity. And some good news for Golden Pass LNG, approaching 400,000 MMBTUs into the train 1. That's out of total capacity of 800 to 850,000. So good news here. It's bouncing back from near zero levels just a week ago. And let's take a look at the tropical hazards. And as you can see, this is mostly the west side of Mexico as we go into the first week of June. And then the second week, they're lower probability, but also in the same area. Let's blow this up here for you so you can take a, whoops, going the wrong direction here. As you can see, it is still off of the west coast of Mexico, Guatemala, El Salvador, and Nicaragua. So we'll keep a careful eye on that as we go through the forecast period, because in the mid-Atlantic, we've got a wall of Saharan air layer from Africa all the way over to Central America. This is larger than the United States. There is nothing getting through this, even though the June 1st starts the Atlantic hurricane season. Right now, nothing to look at, and nothing will develop with this dust that will inhibit any form of development in the mid-Atlantic. How about the U.S. nuclear fleet? We are currently right now with 6.2 gigawatts that are offline here. That is still well within the 5-year average. Again, we've got 3 nuclear units, Comanche Peak, Surrey, and St. Lucie in Florida, still coming back online. And then you've got Palisades. We're still waiting some news from Palisades nuclear power plant to turn back on, maybe this summer. So what else is going on? Well, this is the oil and gas sector here. These are stocks between 2 and 10 billion, over 10%. As you can see, it's a sea of red today. Behind the CNX, down 1.73%. So again, today is expiration of the June natural gas contract. So if you're holding positions in June, you got to roll or get out. Currently, right now, we are trading at 296.70, up 7.3 cents, or just over 2.5%. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Please hit that like and subscribe button. Thanks for listening. We'll see you tomorrow.